Good morning, one and all. Welcome to this session, the second session. I'm Dr. Diana here. And in the last session, we've just had an introduction of what data mining is. And we have seen the literal meaning of data and mining. And we have seen the entire course curriculum. We started with what data was and how do we represent data about a real world object. So we took an object, we assumed what are its features, and we gave some values to these features, and we saw that these feature value pairs differentiate different real world objects. And we have also seen how an information is collected from multiple data objects and how they can be consolidated. And we have seen that statistics is put into use to convert data into information. And now we have seen an example of this COVID, this thing also. And we also saw what knowledge was. Knowledge is analyzing this information, processing of this information, so that it can help us with some decision making process. So that's what we understood knowledge as. Knowledge usually is represented in the form of patterns. So here is a pattern. GHMC, there is a rising rate. So because of that, stay at home. So you have a predecessor, which is the condition that is rising, and you have a successor or the conclusion or the knowledge that you have gained is to better stay at home. So this is the knowledge, and this is how a knowledge is represented in the form of pattern. And we have seen what data mining is. How do we excavate knowledge from huge sources of data? And then we moved on into the evolution of how data mining came up. And then we have seen why we need to use data mining. And then we had an overview of the syllabus and the textbooks used. And we also saw the technical definition of data mining. Data mining is the extraction of interesting, non-trivial, implicit, previously unknown, and potentially useful patterns of knowledge from huge sources of data. And we also understood that data mining is a misnomer, or which means data mining was wrongly named, because we are not mining data, we are actually mining knowledge from the huge sources of data. So it actually should be named as knowledge discovery in databases. All this we have seen in the last session. Now we will have the knowledge discovery process. How do we actually get this knowledge mined out of data? So imagine you have heaps and heaps of data. You have multiple databases. I would say if we can relate to a case study, it will be easier to understand. Imagine DMart has a lot of outlets, retail outlets. Now each DMart has got a billing solution, a billing software that records some data. So DMart in Kompally is going to have its own database. DMart in SR Nagar is going to have its own database. So each of these outlets are going to have their own databases. What will they hold? What will be the data available in these databases? So they'll have information about how many bills were generated, what was the bill, and what are the items purchased in every bill, what was the billing amount, how much was the tax, and all of that is going to be there as billing information. Apart from billing information, what other data will be available? Data about the inventory, the stock, how much of what product is available in the store, that's available. That's called as the inventory information. And then orders and supply chain. I have noted that one of the product is running low. I need to buy some of those products, so I've placed an order. So I need to track that order down. So I might have information about with whom I have placed the order, for how many items I have placed that order, what was the cost price at which I am taking that product from the dealer. All of this information should also be there in the database. So this database is available at multiple sources. DMart Kompally has got one. DMart Sanat Nagar has got one. So every area has got its own database. Now, when this database is available, can I directly use that database for the mining process? Is it possible? You just think back on the excavation sites. We saw some pictures about the excavation sites, right? Think about them and tell me if we can directly start picking out knowledge from that. It is not possible because we need to remove some of the dirt, some of the mud from that area before we even start getting some knowledge out of it. So the same applies to the knowledge discovery process also. So you have got multiple databases. You first bring them together and then you start cleaning that database. What does cleaning mean when we talk about databases? We will be seeing more of these in the next few sessions. So I'm just briefing up on things. Data cleaning is a process in which I remove unwanted data or wrongly entered data or data that lead to erroneous analysis. So I placed an order with somebody. I cancelled the order because the dealer was not able to deliver on time. Will I be able to make use of that same data for my supply chain analysis? Not possible. So I need to remove such data before I even start mining. So data cleansing or data cleaning is the first process in knowledge discovery. And then we move on into integration. So I've got multiple data sources. DMart owner, if he wishes to analyze, it's not sufficient if he wants data only from Kompally. He'll need data from every other source. So you integrate all of them and then put it into something called as a warehouse. A warehouse is more like a godown or a storage area where you collect, you clean up, you organize and put it in some right places. So that when you want to take something from there, you'll be able to take it out easily. In such a way, you organize your data. That is called as a data warehouse. So we have a process by which we can create a data warehouse from multiple databases. In the previous R regulation, R16 regulation, they had the data warehouse process also. How to come up with the data warehouse, how to design a data warehouse, what are the operations on a data warehouse. All of this was there as first unit in the previous regulation. But for now, this regulation, your regulation does not have that particular unit. So we are starting right away with data mining. So we will, in the next few sessions, to understand how effectively data mining works, we will also have an introduction of what data warehouse is and how it actually works. So for now, you just imagine warehouse as a structure that holds data in a very organized way so that if you need something, you'll be able to directly pick it up from there. In such a way, you need to organize data. That's called as a data warehouse. Once the data warehouse is ready, we then do a selection process. Now, a selection process is based on the goal or the objective. Now, the DMart owner wants to understand how a discount or how an offer is doing well at different data sources or different DMarts. Will a supply chain data help in this analysis process? May not so. So in that case, what we do is we restrict the data to only products that were given on offers in different DMarts. So you select only that data and then you do some further analysis on that. That is called as selection. So selection is going to be a process where you can always choose your data depending on what you want to analyze. So based on that, we are going to choose some data for our decision making process. Once this data is chosen, and then we move on into the next step, which is data mining. So I have a handful of data about different offers which were given in multiple DMarts. So all that information I have collected, put inside the warehouse, and that I've chosen or selected for the knowledge discovery process. Now you apply some data mining algorithms on that. So when I apply those data mining algorithms, what do I get? I am going to get something called as pattern. So a pattern can be represented or can be thought of as, when I give 30% offer or discount to a particular product, it sells 70 units per day. But when I give 40% discount for the same product, it sells 500 units per day. So I can see that a 10% of discount is giving a drastic improvement in the sales. So that can be identified as a pattern. Now this is one pattern. I can collect multiple patterns like this using data mining from the selected data. Now after doing this, what will I get? The pattern is evaluated. What should I use as parameter for evaluation of these patterns? Now we should get back to the definition of data mining. It said extraction of interesting patterns, right? What are the different aspects of interestingness that we have seen? It should be non-trivial. It should be implicit. Very good. It should be previously unknown, and it should be valuable in the decision making process, or it should be useful. So these aspects, based on these parameters, I am going to evaluate the patterns that I have mined out. Once I have got the evaluation of these patterns, I can see which of these patterns are most interesting. The most interesting patterns usually help in the decision making process. So from that, I will get my knowledge. Knowledge cannot be attained in just one run through of this process. When I evaluate my patterns, and if my patterns are not interesting enough, then I might have to include some other data, add some data to it, and then perform the data mining again, and then again you'll have to evaluate. This might take multiple runs. So depending on the interestingness of the pattern that I get, I might have to do this process 2 or 3, 4 times to ultimately gain some knowledge. Now once this knowledge is gained, this knowledge can help me take business decisions. That is the ultimate aim of data mining. So every time we take some business decisions, we are having the objective of getting the best profit, right? And every time managers take some decisions, it is based on their intuition and based on their experience that they take some decisions. Based on the knowledge that they have, they take decisions. Now, if data mining is able to give you that knowledge statistically, and if it is able to prove why that knowledge will work, then naturally it is going to help in the decision making process. Now, this is a very important question when you talk about your exam point of view. In the first unit, if you have noticed, there are only 2-3 important questions that can be asked as big questions. So knowledge discovery process is one such question. So this knowledge discovery process involves data integration and cleaning, and then we moved on into creation of a data warehouse from which we selected some task relevant data. Upon that chosen data, we have applied data mining, and then we received some patterns as output. Those patterns were evaluated based on the interestingness. For interestingness, we took the measures as non-trivial, implicit, previously unknown, and useful information. Based on that, we have collected some knowledge. This knowledge is going to help us in the decision making process. Now, once our knowledge is ready, we can always think about other forms of data. Now, I said in DMart, the owner was trying to identify what was the profit when he raised the discount prices. Now I can also think about how to place orders with different dealers. Now when I take the same data, databases, data warehouse, I can choose a different set of data and then run some data mining on that and then get some patterns for placing effective orders. That also will be integrated into the knowledge base. So for the same environment, I can look at various aspects of the environment or perspectives of that environment and then get back to my data warehouse, choose my data accordingly, and then start mining on those selected data. So this will help me find multiple patterns from the warehouse on different perspectives of the organization, and that will derive some effective knowledge in the that can be used in the decision making process. Now once this is done, what do I do next? This is the knowledge discovery process, and I see that data mining is only a small part of this knowledge discovery process. Not everything is called data mining. So I need to pre-process the data, form a warehouse, choose the data, then only I can perform mining. In the previous curriculum, we have had all these processes. Data cleaning was also there, data warehousing was also there, and then choosing of data was also there. But in your curriculum, they've started right away with data mining. So we will be doing right away with data mining, and then we go into pattern evaluation. And this is how data mining is used in the business decision making process. Now, when you look into multiple databases, we see relational database as the only database that is possible, because we are computer science engineers. We are used to thinking that a database means a relational RDBMS system, but it is not so. In a practical environment, a database or a data source can be even from paper documents, from files, from web pages, results of scientific experiments. All of these form different sources of data. So it's not always organized. So I need to do a lot of pre-processing to organize this data. So that's the second step, where we do some pre-processing and then you integrate all of that data to form the data warehouses. So the second step is the data warehousing. These two operations are usually done by a database administrator. You might not need extensive idea about data mining. The data DBA need not have any idea about data mining. He'll be still able to do some effective data pre-processing. But if they have some idea of data mining, it will be helpful in understanding what all data will be required during integration and warehousing. So that's the balance of what knowledge expertise they might need. The next two steps are usually performed by somebody called as a data analyst, somebody who analyzes data. So that imparts the data exploration, which is the statistical querying and reporting aspect of data. This, most of the database analysts, what they do is they use some reporting tools that can help in generation of reports, and then they also run summaries from different databases. So this summarizing is done by data analyst. And then they also perform something called as data mining or the information discovery process. This also can be done by a data analyst himself. So basic data mining can be done by most of the data analysts. The next process is called as data presentation. Now I understood, I have attained some knowledge. How do I project it for that particular business? That's where business analyst comes into picture. So they are going to collect this knowledge that has been mined out of databases, and then they are going to present it or visualize it for their own business. That's where a business analyst comes. Now, once this business analyst delivers this presentation to an organization, they'll be able to take the decisions accordingly. So, how does this actually help? Why do I call it as business intelligence? Now, earlier, in the business decision making process, you might have seen that only some people are able to run effective businesses. Why is that so? It's because of the wisdom they have, the experience they have. They are able to make strategic plans that can help them develop their business. Because of that aspect, we see some of the people are able to do well with business. Now, it is not the case. Every business has got lots of data. So from that data, if I am able to find some knowledge, if I am able to find interesting patterns and then present it properly to the business owner, he'll be able to make effective decisions. When effective decisions are made, the business naturally flourishes. So this is going to be a backup for the strategic planning of your business enterprise, which is why all the business enterprises now are focusing on data mining and collection of data. So every organization you go, they collect your data first, ask them to submit your resume first, and then they look at what are the type of people that have applied, and then they take decisions accordingly. So it's more like that. So every business has got its own data, and this data is being analyzed everywhere, and based on that data only a decision making is done. Now, this is how data mining is associated with machine learning and statistics. You have some input data, you go in some data pre-processing where the methods used are data integration, normalization, feature selection, and dimension reduction. We have already seen data integration and normalization in your previous RDBMS sessions. Feature selection and dimension reduction was there in the previous curriculum. It is not there in the current curriculum, but still we'll touch upon that when we look into the classification aspect. And then we go into the data mining where pattern discovery, association, correlation, classification, clustering, outlier analysis, all of these are there in your curriculum. So all of this we are going to see in the next coming sessions. And then you go into the post-processing. Post-processing is where you evaluate your process and see if the pattern is interesting enough. And then you use methods for visualization or presentation of your pattern. This gives you knowledge. Now, in every step of this knowledge discovery, we are going to use some machine learning algorithms. Machine learning algorithm is only an advanced form of statistics. So we will be using some machine learning in all of these aspects. Now, with this, I would like to conclude for today's session. Next session, we will be seeing what are the different types of data that can be mined, and from each of these different types of data, what exactly are the types of patterns that can be mined. So for this session, I am closing with the knowledge discovery process. I think we can run a quick redo of that. So we started with multiple databases, cleaned them up, we integrated them, and then we formed the data warehouses. Then we moved on into selection of data for task relevant analysis. Then we used data mining algorithms and generated some patterns. These patterns were evaluated based on their interestingness. Then we formed the knowledge. And then when we look at the business intelligence perspective, a database analyst does the data collection of data sources and organization and formation of the data warehouse. A data analyst does the data exploration or the summarization and the data mining part of it, and the presentation of it or a strategic planning based on the knowledge gained is done by a business analyst, and the end user is involved in the decision making process. And then for every knowledge discovery process, there will be some data pre-processing, some data mining, and some post-processing activity. Based on this, we can give some strategic plan for business decision making. So this is where I conclude for today's session. We will look into the next session, hoping that all of you are doing well. It will be good to see you all soon. Thank you.